I will be doing a quick tank review for the Czech Tier 2 light tank, the LT-VZ35. This vehicle, it is just average for its tier. It's not that great nor bad. If you know what you are doing and play toward the vehicle's strengths and weaknesses, you can do quite well in this tank. This vehicle, for the most part, it plays just like the PZ35T tank, which is in the German tech tree. Let's get into the vehicle stats now. The vehicle stats, they're not that great nor bad. The vehicle concealment ratings, the vehicle's spotting and mobility, what makes the LT-VZ35 great for a light tank at this tier. Let's begin off with the firepower. The gun you are going to be using, it is a 37mm gun. What is good about this gun exactly? You have good pen, high rate of fire, with a good aiming time to match. Unfortunately, the gun, it is not that accurate, .38. So you will have a problem hitting your target at times, unless if you fully aim in onto the target. With the low damage output per round, you have to fire a lot of rounds into an enemy tank to do a lot of damage with this gun. Damage per minute, it is about 1000 damage, which is good for its tier. You have a faster loading time, which is under 3 seconds, so you can fire on the move and hit something reliably enough if you are in the range to do so, while flanking them still. The turret traverse is good at 31. The gun depression, it is quite good, 10 degrees downwards, so if you have a hill, you can use the hill to cover the lower plate here, angle the front armor a bit to increase the chance of ricochet if you use it properly. Any rounds ricochet off you if it's a low penning gun. So this is a good hill fighter if you can make use of such terrain at times. The gun elevation upward is good at 25. The vehicle's survivability, it is not that great. Hit points 180. You can take a few hits before you are killed. Besides that, you can be potentially one-shotted by the howitzers at the tier 3 area that you will begin to encounter, or even artillery if it have a lucky roll. The armor in the front, it is 25. If you angle it well enough to the left or to the right, you can increase the armor thickness by a bit to ricochet low penning guns. Besides that, everything can penetrate you in the front easily enough. Side armor, it is 16, same with rear. The armor in the front and side, it is paper thin to most vehicles at this tier, so everything can penetrate you easily enough. So expect everything that is going to be shot at you going through your armor. The mobility of the tank, it is good. The vehicle weighing about 11 tons, you have a decent horsepower to ton ratio for a light tank with the 135 horsepower engine. Watch out for the engine fire at 20%. Your horsepower to ton ratio, it is about 12.50 horsepower to 1 ton. That means this vehicle, it is mobile when you are on flat terrain, going in a straight line, or flat terrain in general. You can easily reach the vehicle top speed when you are on flat terrain, going going in a straight line or downhill to reach the 34-kilometer mark easily enough. Reverse speed, it is okay at 15. The whole traverse is good at 48. The vehicle concealment rating, it is good. When you are staying still, it is 15. When you have a camouflage net, the camouflage paint, and the camouflage perk, this go up by a bit more. Same thing with the vehicle concealment rating when it is on the move. It is relatively okay. It is about 11. The vehicle spotting, it is good. The base view range, it is 330 meters. When you add in having a good crew and binocular telescope into the factor, you can easily have your view range up to be around 440 meters at this TO. The radio, it is not that great nor bad, 330 meters. Now, let's cover the research part of the tank. The research for the tank. It's a easy tank to go through as you don't have that much to research. To move on to the Tier 3 vehicle, you will just have to research the top turret only. The only piece of equipment that is transferable to the Tier 3 vehicle is the top gun only. Besides that, the rest of the equipment, it is usable on the LTVZ-35 only. Let's begin off with the tracks. You can use the first pair of tracks throughout the entire grind to mount all of the equipment onto the tank still, but if you want to have a slightly better hull traverse, from 40 up to 45, use the top pair of tracks, which you have to research if you want to use it. Engines, you have two to use. The first engine, the 120 horsepower engine, the vehicle, it is going to be mobile still, so you can use it throughout the entire grind if you want to. If you want to have a bit more of a better horsepower to ton ratio, go with the second engine here, as that extra 15 horsepower does make a bit of a difference. Turrets, you only have two. The radio, you only have one, so use this radio throughout the entire grind. Turrets. The only difference between these two turrets are the better gun handling stats, more hit points, a better turret traverse with a better view range as well, from 290 up to 320 guns. You only have two to use. Both of them are the same for the most part, except from the A3 to the A8 gun, the A8 is better when it comes to rate of fire, accuracy, and aiming time by a bit. Besides that, the pen and the damage output is the same for both of these guns. To make use of the 37mm gun, remember, if you want to do a lot of damage with the gun in a match, you have to fire a lot of rounds into the enemy tank. With the accuracy and the aiming time, you can be somewhat of a okay medium to a short distance sniper if you have to. Now, let's cover the consumables, the ammunition layout, equipment, and how are you going to be using the LTVZ-35 tank. The consumables. At this tier, you may or may not want to use them. But if you have two of them just laying around, you can use the larger repair kit for the permanent effect that it does offer you when it is not being used. Same thing with the larger first aid kit. This vehicle carries a good amount of ammo, 76 rounds of ammo, so you will never run out of ammo with this tank in a match. The majority of the ammo you will be using it is AP and HE. AP can pen most targets easily enough if you know where to shoot at it with the ammo type. HE it is useful against any armored targets up to tier 3 yes still. APCR allows you to have a better pen, 30 more millimeters of pen, which is handy at times. Besides that, AP can penetrate everything easily enough if you know where to shoot at it with, or just shoot the side or rear of the vehicle. If you are going to be using APCR, it will cost you 2 gold or 800 credits per A shell. My experience using a PCR round in this tank, it is not worth it at this tier. The equipment that I went with the binocular telescope to increase the view range when I am using it, the camouflage net to increase my camouflage rating when I am staying still, and vents to improve the crew and the tank performance by a bit. The equipment here that I went with is being a passive scout or being a medium to a short distance sniper when I have to. The other pieces of equipment that you can use if you want to is the enhanced gunning drive to decrease what is already a good aiming time, coated optics for more of a permanent view range. Besides that, the rest of the equipment here it is not that useful at all. The camouflage net it is one of those things that you may or may not want to use on this tank, based upon your play style for the tank. Now, how are you going to be using this tank? As a tier 2 vehicle, you will be getting yourself into a tier 2 to a tier 3 match. If you know what you are doing in the match, then you can do quite well in this tank. Now the roles that the tank it is good at. You are primarily going to be a frontline combat light tank, as a support role, as a flanking role, as a passive or as a active scout if you have to be. If you have the proper equipment or get yourself into a situation, you can be a decent medium to a short distance sniper at times. Besides that, this tank it is quite versatile in its role at times, based upon what is going on in the match. I have a replay to show you how well you can do in this tank. Let's go to that replay now. This replay, I will show you how well you can do in the OT VS35 when you are playing towards its strengths and weaknesses when you are top tier. When you are playing on the side of being cautious at this tier. Let's speed this up a bit. I am heading to the right side of the map. If you want to do quite well in this tank, when you are top tier or not top tier, having a good sense of map awareness, it is important, as you can be killed easily enough if a vehicle can shoot at your side or rear, or use their superior rate of fire to kill you in a hurry. To do well in this vehicle, it is important to use the terrain, the map, and your allies to your advantage. That's what I am doing now. I'm being careful as I advance forward, using the hill to cover my side. The vehicles are being lit up in the middle here, so I am getting some assist damage while damaging them. The T7 combat car, with its low pen value of a gun, due to the angling that I had my armor at, I ricocheted that low penning gun. At this here, as long as you angle your armor well enough against low pen uh, low penning rounds, such as a T7 combat car, you can easily ricochet such rounds, except for certain guns that their gun have good pen at this tier, then those rounds can penetrate you easily enough. ZLTV, there I am firing blindly, trying to hit the vehicle. Now we are on the winning side here, 9-3. I am trying to lead my shots where the LT is going to be. Seeing the artillery pieces there is going to be killed off soon. I tried firing blindly at them. I'm having no luck there. This LT I fire blindly, hoping I will hit it while it is moving. I did get one shot off. 2, 3, and then the LT VZ35 went off the cliff and died from the crash. This is where my usefulness to the team comes to an end. I didn't do all that well, nor bad, but I did well enough playing towards the vehicle strengths and weaknesses. I did about 380 damage, which is okay. So I did about twice the vehicle hit points and damage. Let's go to the garage now. Let's do a brief recap on the tank itself. The vehicle, it is not that great, nor bad for its tier. If you know what you are doing, you can do quite well in this tank. This tank, it is quite versatile in its role, so you can fill many roles in a match if you have to in a hurry. This tank, remember, with the amount of armor and the hit points you have, if you are at the wrong place at the wrong time, you can be killed easily enough. Besides that, this is a good tank to use, as long as you play toward the vehicle's strengths and weaknesses. I hope that you learn a thing or two about the LT VZ35 tank and how to use it properly. If you like this video, leave a like, a comment, and even follow my channel as well. Good luck on the battlefield, everyone.